Okay, Red, are you there, buddy? Now
Yes,
do you
I'm
see
here.
we're live? Do you see we're live now?
I don't see any difference.
You don't see any difference. Hey guys, if you guys have been watching for the last, 10 minutes and haven't seen anything, push number 1. Seriously, this is crazy. We've been sitting here talking with not being live.
I gotta think
Oh
about the
my
topic.
gosh, William Kirkman pushed 1. Yes, you guys have been sitting here talking.
Okay, it just clicked in,
We
guys.
have been talking to you guys in the comments, thinking we're live for the last 10 minutes. Right, Red?
Yes.
And I finally looked at Red because Red started this broadcast. He started with a little intro, and everything. And
Yeah, that's what started. Let me do it again.
We just came on now.
The combination of the videotapes and Wemette's testimony resulted in the conviction of 2 men on extortion charges. One of them was Frank Schweiz, known in syndicate circles as the German, a feared mob terrorist and a suspect in a number of gangland murders.
He was described to me by other outfit individuals as the most feared hitman. And as he said to me, my reputation precedes me, son.
Yeah, we were sitting here talking to ourselves, Red. we were talking to you. Oh my God.
Promise, you can't get that 10 minutes back.
We can't get that 10 minutes back either. Okay, so Red, let's start all over from the beginning. Red gave a whole synopsis. All this. We thought you guys were just talking to each other in the comments while Red was explaining all what happened on this. We were talking about how great it was, and let's start all over, Red, from the very beginning, from the top.
Okay.
Ready?
The Offer, if you haven't been watching it, is about The Godfather and the making of The Godfather. And I got to get all the names straight again.
So Bullhorn is in the office, Charlie Bullhorn, and he's on the office with Lapinus. Remember, we were joking about that, Lapinus, because that's what Betty made the joke at the party about it. So, guys, hit the smash the like button, please. So they're in there having the meeting about what the artwork's going to be for the cover, what the movie's going to be, a shorter cut, the 3-hour cut, and Bob Evans walks into the room stone cold
sober. He's been higher than a kite. He's been drinking. He's been womanizing, and he's been using cocaine for like the last 3 months, and they couldn't find him. And Bullhorn decided that he was going to fire him. That was it. And he came in and saves the day. They were arguing over money. And Lapinus said something about, it's about money. We're here to make money. And
right.
He came in and said, no, it's not. It's not about that. It's about art. It's really about art. And art makes money. Art makes money. If you make a bad film, it doesn't make any difference. You've got to have art to it. And he says, that's what I bring to the show. That's what I bring it to. And so finally, he relents. I didn't think he was going to relent. I thought he was going to fight. He relents and says, you're right. And he stepped down, and all of a sudden, he took over. And so in the meantime, Ruddy goes to New York and has a private showing. They only had 2 copies of the cut film where they could actually show it. He steals one or borrows one and gets on a private plane, goes to New York, and shows it to the Italian American League in New York. All these mafia guys are there, and they're
rapping. He invite him to the premiere in Hollywood, so he has a premiere, special one for them in New York.
Right.
And he walks into the theater, and the guy jokes with him, hey, if this film isn't any good, you aren't walking out of the theater ready. Yeah, what a damn good episode. It was really good. And it ended with him sitting there with Joe Colombo saying, we did it, I did it. They had a standing ovation. They loved it. And,
well, he went to Colombo's bedside, and he said, see, I did it for you, Joe. He was unconscious. And he said, see, I did it for you, Joe. They loved it. We got a standing ovation. I kept my word.
Right.
And from there, it goes back and it almost ends right there. And now we have the last episode coming up, but everybody's happy with each other. Where they're all fighting in the beginning, they're all pulling together as a team, which is really good. the only thing I got out of this whole thing, aside from the entertainment, was putting together a movie is not as easy as you think it is. Writing the script, doing all the other things, getting actors, getting people to involved that were, that you wanted, is really a tough job. How to keep everybody happy. It's like spinning pipelines. You can't. One's
Right.
gonna break.
Right. It's a great show. Julie M said she subscribed to Paramount Plus just so she could watch it. I'm telling you, Red, Paramount
You're gonna like it.
give us a cut of that because we're sending viewers over there. You know what I mean? We should put the arm on Paramount. Quickly, that's funny. That Bobby Bag of Donuts, too much devil's lettuce, Adam. Oh, not coming out. It's Red that was supposed to push the button. And I don't know, Red, you got partaking of the devil's lettuce over there?
No. What happened was I had pushed the button for the intro without hitting the live button.
You know what you make with devil's lettuce? Satan salad. It's a wee delicacy, no dressing needed. Oh my gosh. That's funny, Bill. I may put it. That's in the script on the mob tour. That's why Bobby Bag of Donuts said it. Because we go past the dispensary that was a filming location. And I say, see, they got a 24-hour drive-through. That way in the middle of the night, if you get a craving for some of the devil's lettuce, you don't even need. Everybody laughs at that because, nobody calls it devil's lettuce. I'm going to use that.
Graham has a good point here. He said also admitted that Evans was right about Love Story with Ally McGraw, Steve McQueen. And he was also right about the other
Rosemary's
movie.
Baby.
Yeah, Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah. And he was against those movies, which became blockbusters. Yeah, all that came out in that meeting with them in episode 9. It's how, yeah. I never watched Love Story. Neither have I. And Rosemary's Baby, that was
the
good.
distinct thing about Love Story is if you read the book, every line in the book is in the script. There's not one word that is not from the book that is in the script.
Interesting.
It was a long time ago. I think it was in the 60s.
Jim Magnifici said Red's got more than a pair of mounds on his trophy wall. Pair of mounts? Oh, pair of mounts. I got it. Red's got more than a pair of mounts on his trophy. He's making a paramount. Pair of mounts. Never mind, Red.
Are you talking about the animals that I posted?
Michael Graham. Yeah, I want to watch this. Everyone that's watching the series The Offer, the making of the Godfather movie, should watch the documentary on Paramount Pictures president Richard Evans.
Yes.
Called The Kid Stays in the Picture. Is it about Pacino? Is it about him fighting for Pacino into the... Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
very good. Excellent. I highly recommend it.
If you want to get
crowd,
you want to get depressed, watch Love Story. Okay, so it's that kind of movie, huh? Please use it, Adam.
Ally McGraw dies at the end of it. It's Ryan O'Neal and Ally McGraw.
So I would like to I'd like to check that out. Scott Charleston, the guy that talks through his nose, gets on my nerves. The guy who talks through his nose. You're talking about Charlie Bullhorn? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about Lapidus? Which one sounds nasally?
Charlie Bullhorn.
I thought his name was Bob Evans. Yeah, I thought it was Bob Evans. That's what I said. Richard Evans. You mean Bob Evans, right?
I'm mistaken. Scott H. You're on top of it.
Or Robert Evans. I'm sure he goes by that too. Ooh, Smooth Operator is getting a copy of your book. It's going to be there by Friday. So.
When did you order it? Oh,
Well,
you ordered it from Amazon.
Red's book arrives here by Friday. I can't wait to get it. Oh, you probably got it off of Amazon.
Right.
Yeah, Matt. Bob Evans is a restaurant, correct? And he's also a producer at Paramount back in the day. Bob Evans.
Yes, he was.
That's a sausage. That's what Duke Dunzer said.
Bob Evans.
You guys, good biscuits. You guys are getting me hungry again, okay? Stop it. I got an unwich downstairs to eat from We're getting unwich. They make it without the bread. They wrap it in lettuce. Anyway.
Smooth operator, I understand you got it from Amazon. Okay.
Awesome.
I hope you like it. And if you do like it, write a review on Amazon. Good, bad, or indifferent. I don't care what you think. Tell me what you think. Put it up on Amazon. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Didn't Gianni Russo set the move up in New York City? So he said.
True.
Up? Set the movie up, you mean? The whole, I don't.
No, it's not true. You saw how he's abused by James Caan in that movie?
Oh,
James
yeah.
Caan, and they encouraged that. What was his name?
Ruddy went to him. Or Betty. She was the one, right? Who went to him.
The one that liked it, the director. Not Mario Puzo. Coppola, Francis Ford Coppola. Yeah. He sees him getting beat up and he says, good. He didn't like him either. Get him worse. James Caan was biting his hand and everything else.
While they're filming the script, shit out of him, right? And the assistant looks at him and goes, you think we got it? And, Coppola sat there and said, no, let him keep going for a little while longer, right?
A big smile on his face. I loved it.
A while longer. He hit the girl, so Betty went to the mob guy that likes her. You're right. That's right. Hey Adam, I'll meet you at Windy City Beefs off of Eastern. I'd love to go there, man. Jeez, that
question,
place.
Adam.
How did you meet Frank Collada? Wow, that's a long story.
It is a long story.
Matt.
Basically, you met him on a bus tour.
So I did a whole video about it on Mob Vlog, and it's called The Making of Coffee with Collada, or The Making of Mob Vlog. I don't remember what the title exactly, but it's The Making of the show. And I talked the whole thing through, but I'll give it to you and I'll give you the elevator pitch, okay? 60 seconds. Ready? So I was a tour guide for the Vegas Mob Tour when it first opened in 2006. It was my very first job when I got to Las Vegas. I learned about Frank Collada, who he was, and he became a consultant for the Vegas Mob Tour. We used to sell his books on the tour. And Frank came on the tour one day, got mad at me, and then he had me fired. He told the producer, I don't want to consult anymore.
Why did he get mad at you?
He got mad at me for making jokes, okay? I made a joke.
Tell him the joke you made.
Tony Spilotro had a Gold Rush jewelry store in Las Vegas, and that's where they resold all the stolen goods. And his motto was, if you like buying it the first time, you're going to love buying it the second time. And then the camel that broke the back, I held up his book, Collada, and I was like, yeah, this book was written by Dennis Griffin. Oh, my God. He stood up, started screaming at me, that's my fucking book, and threatened to kill me in the middle of the tour, okay? Got off the bus. And the next day, the producer called me and said, I can't have you do the tour anymore. So I was no longer a tour guide. I went off and did magic, this, that. And let's fast forward to 2016, about 7 years later. The producer of the tour, Robert, who became a very close friend of mine, and I still worked with him on the tours. I made videos and whatnot for him, something that I do, video editing. And so I still knew about who Frank was and this and that. But when Robert passed away, I wanted to keep the tour company going. So I partnered up with another producer in town, and we bought the tour company from Robert's widow. And then we called Frank. And when I say we, I mean his widow, called Frank and said, oh, yeah, I sold the company to this nice young man, and oh, yeah, put him on the phone, and Frank, see, I'm already at 3 minutes, two and a half minutes I've been talking. I was going to do this in 60 seconds. I'm just doing the quickly through this, but long story short, I started working with Frank. I told him, hey, you're starting to do private tours. I can help you. We can do some things together. Got him a keynote speaking engagement for a group of heart specialists, heart surgeons, and really became friends with him.
And kind of his agent.
Kind of, in a way. kind of producer.
No contract, but
Call
an
it a
agent.
producer, because that's what I started doing when we started the YouTube channel. It was I was producing him, and just I wanted to preserve history. I wanted to preserve stories, and I thought his were fascinating, and so that's what I started
You were
doing.
his buddy. You were his buddy.
And then, well, as time went on, it was a business relationship that we had, and it turned into a friendship, and
So much of a friendship. You were making a place when he was in the hospital to come to your home.
yeah, we were moving him in with us. That's what we were going to do, and we are going to take care of him. And so I spent most of 2020 over at his apartment because we worked just like every day on the videos. And I remember the last couple of weeks that Frank was home, because he got home from the hospital on the 4th of July of 2020. I picked him up. I know it was the 4th of July because that's the day they got busted at the jewelry store at Bertha's, and I wore a Tower of Jewels face mask when I picked him up. And I looked at him with the mask. I said, "Want to make a stop on the way home?" You jag off. Oh, man. Anyway, yeah, I remember that. And so it was the 4th of July. On the 23rd of July is when he went back to the hospital. And in that time, those couple of weeks, when I was at his house, now I was help cooking, the cleaning, changing his bandages, shaving him, taking care of him. He was getting weaker and weaker. And when I would sit there, he used to pray. He used to sit there and go, "Lord, bless this man. Lord, take care of this man, Lord." And then
My angel. You're my angel.
the last couple of weeks, yeah, he asked me on the way out of his place. He looked at me and said, "Don't lie to me. Are you an angel? Come on." And I thought, right. And so then Frank was in the hospital, and then we talked on the phone like every day. I would read him comments from the channel, and I'd read him comments until he told me enough. And then the last couple of days, he told me on the phone, he said, "I don't think I'm getting out of here, buddy." And I said, "No, Frank, you be strong, and you're going to be okay." And then he said to me, "I want you here. You understand me? I want you here." And I said to him, "I know, I'd be there right now, but they aren't letting people in the hospital, Frankie." And he said, "I want you here." So I called the nurse and I said, "Can I come down and see my friend? Is there any way, to make an exception?" They said, "We got to run that up the chain of command." So they, that day, I don't think I've ever told this story on here, have I?
No, you haven't.
I don't think I've ever told the story.
No, you've talked to me about it, but you never talked.
I don't think I've ever told this. So, oh man, why is somebody got to ask me this kind of question right now?
Let's switch questions. Okay.
I'll finish. Let me finish. I'll finish.
Okay.
So the day came that that Frank wasn't going to make it, and we knew that. And the hospital called. They said, "Come down. We're going to make an exception." They really ran it up the chain. So I went down there, and he was in the ICU. And now in the witness protection, his name was Joseph Curtis. So I walked into the ICU. It was creepy as hell. I mean, the only people in the hospital were the patients and the staff. There wasn't anybody else. Like the waiting rooms and stuff, everything was empty. It was creepy. And I went up to the ICU, and Frank was in there, and I walked up to the glass, and he had his eyes closed. They had the thing in his mouth. And the nurse went into the room, and she said, Joe, your friend Adam's here, Joe. And there's no response. And she came out of there, and I said to her, "Hey," I said, "go back in." Because she looked at me, and she's like, I've tried, And I went, "So go back in and say, 'Hey, Frank, Adam's here.'" And she looked at me like, "Why?" And I said, "Please just call him Frank." So she went back in and said, "Hey, Frank." Boom, the eyes open up. She said, "Adam's here, Frank." He looked over at me. She put a little speaker phone next to him so he could hear. And I talked to him on the phone, and I'm like, "Hey, bud," I'm here. I said, "You wanted me here. Here I am. And I'm here to tell you today's a good day. So you get to stop fighting today." So you've been fighting yourself, been fighting other people your whole life. He said, you're done. You don't have to anymore. So it's a good day. And, Frank, I love you. I said, Lewis loves you. Elaine, Joe. I see you got 20,000 people on YouTube.
Your fans love you. Your fans love you.
20,000 people. I said, and then you keep asking me, Frank. I said, you keep asking me if I'm an angel. Maybe God wanted me here right now to tell you you're going to be okay. You don't have anything to worry about. And, you don't have to worry. Close your eyes and go to sleep. I said, look, I'm going to tell your story. And I said, I promise I won't make you look like a jagoff. No, maybe just a little bit. He laughed because you could see it in the eyes. We were talking with our eyes. And then that was it. So that's how I met him. And that's how close that he and I became.
That's how you left him too.
Yeah. There you go. That's how. Yeah. And that was a tough. That was a tough year, and even the following year was tough too. That. Yeah. All right.
It's so hard to lose people that are close to you.
Next subject. Today's been a rough day so far for me with this. So next subject.
Okay.
Misty
made a comment that you tell it on the tour. You tell that story on the tour, and you got kind of teary-eyed. You broke up.
Yeah, I do tell it on the tour, and you tell the story on the tour. I know what a great man you are. Yeah, you told the story on the tour. It's still a very touching story. It is. And thanks, guys. Rick Charlton said that I got a little choked up when I tell it on the tour. You told my wife and I this on the story. You got really upset while telling us. It's hard because, you're kind of like, when you tell a story like that, you kind of like relive it in your brain a little bit, right? I mean, when you're storytelling and it's real stuff, but when you're telling it, you kind of reliving that through to get the emotion that you're. I know. I go
through the same thing, Adam. When I talk about things in the past, it's like I'm reliving it in my mind, and it's like I'm really there. It's just like reality. It's happening.
That's what it is. So anyway, it's funny, but that's how I wrapped the tour. I wrapped the tour that way. And the other day, a lady got off the tour. She told me afterwards, everybody wants to talk after the tour, which I love doing. And she told me, she said, I got choked up when you were telling the story at the end. She said, I actually, like cried a little bit. I was like, well, I try to humanize the stories and make the tour as authentic as possible. And so I have a few personal stories and I add them to the tour and some pictures that, I add, and it makes the tour a lot of fun.
It's part of who you are. It's part of who you are, Adam.
Yeah. Hey, it's Ted Guglielmo. Huh? I got it right that time, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Guglielmo, how are you doing today?
I'm glad he got home in time to hear it.
Glad that you heard it. It's called Being Human, and it's a remarkable thing. Yeah, Homan, it sure is.
Thank you, Homan.
Yeah. Michael Graham, I watched Adam's channel a long time, and the best part was when Frank Collada get pissed at Adam and then started yelling at him. This is the last fucking question. 1, 2, 3. That's what I said. 3.
He got cranky towards the end. He got cranky towards the end. What the heck? He was sick. He had the COPD. He had all the problems, and he just got cranky at the end. He even apologized to you. He went on the air and apologized to you.
Oh, yep. Got a pacemaker today, and I needed that. Man, I'm glad that I hope you're doing all right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
we don't want to lose any more of you. Thank you, Ted.
It was a bonus seeing the personal items of Frank's. Yeah, Scott H. You know what? The people really like that. And that was something that Joe Collada and I talked about and thought, if we have the opportunity to pass around some personal items of Frank's, why not? It's going to make the tour more unique. And the museum, the Mob Museum, was interested in some of those items, but
I don't like the Mob Museum. Your
makes-
tour is better than the Mob Museum would ever be.
I'm not going to say anything bad about the museum because
I did it. You did not do it. I did it. It's on my channel.
I think the museum has something good put together there. I think the exhibits are really good. I'm not going to say anything bad about it.
Okay.
I'm really not. It's not in my nature to do that. And I think that the place is really cool as far as what they have on display and how they have it all displayed. I'll say that much,
There was a man here. I had it up there. He asked me if I'm looking for it now. He asked me if I ever knew Lefty Rosenthal. I'm looking for the comment so I can put it back up there.
That was cool seeing Frank's licenses. Yeah, guys, we got a few, and I'm putting another piece on it too. I found something else that I'm going to put on that I think would be really, really neat to show. So it'll be kind of interesting. So I'm looking for the comment, and I don't see it either here. I don't see
It's
it.
way back up here.
I saw when I was telling the story, I saw you put it on the screen for a second, and then
Yeah, his name was Don, and he asked me a question. He said, "Did you know Lefty Rosenthal?"
Yeah,
No,
yeah, I saw that.
I did not know Lefty Rosenthal. I met him the first time at Boca Raton when they were doing the release of the casino. He had called all the people, press, and they came out to his house. He had a 5-acre estate, big, nice iron gates opened up, and they were all there. Well, I lived in Palm Beach at the time, and so I drove over there. I waited till all the press got out of there and all the other people. He was on the porch. He had a long cigarette holder. He smoked out. He was in a robe and slippers and on his porch when he's giving the interview or whatever he's doing at the time to local channels. And I walked up to him and I talked to him afterwards. And the next time I talked to him was when he was down in Miami. He'd sold the estate. His kids had grown up and he moved to Miami. At that time, he was working for the Hard Rock Casino Cafe as a consultant, and he was doing offshore betting as a handicapper. But that's my extent of Lefty Rosenthal.
Got it.
We got that all out.
There you go. Gotta love it. So, yeah, Red, what do you want to talk about now? Boy,
I'm looking at the comments.
hey, I was thinking of something earlier. We were talking about that John Wayne Gacy.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
that was news to me. I argued with Adam. I said, no, that couldn't have happened. That couldn't have happened. I watched the Netflix timeline and everything. That couldn't have happened. And he said, oh yeah, it did. He popped it up, and I said, wow, this is news to the rest of the world. I mean, they wrote it out of the scripts. They wrote it out of everything.
It's
Never
not. It's
mentioned it.
nowhere. I can't believe that. I can't believe that it was never. It was never. Yeah. I can't believe this isn't a known thing. But yeah, Gacy was out here working in a morgue, Fred, and he admitted when he first got busted, he admitted to all of it and said that he got into a coffin with a teenage boy. Hey, Red. Gives a new meaning to the word cold cocked. Oh my God, no! All right, Frank would get upset if he heard Lefty's wife. If he heard Lefty's wife a prostitute, Frank would get upset. If he heard Lefty's wife a prostitute, he was a chip whore. Frank would get upset if he heard Lefty's wife a prostitute. He was a chip whore. Oh, he was a chip whore.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Street
All right.
stories.
Oh, street stories. I saw your oh, hey, street stories. I saw that you messaged me some videos earlier. I saw your comment. I'll look for them. Thank you very much. I'm sure that you have some good thing. I'm sure it's good. I'm gonna. So here's what we're putting together. We're about to launch the Vegas Crime Tour, and it's going to go to the west side, the north, downtown Vegas, Fremont Street, different side of town than the mob tour, the ghost tours. So this is going to be, and it's all about the serial killers, the fugitives, there's so much crime in this town. The casinos being robbed, the sex trafficking, and it's weird. This place attracts serial killers. It does. There's been more serial killers associated with this town than anywhere.
Matt, you're probably right. If the Alpha guys would have got to him before the police, I don't think there would have been that kind of.
That's a question I want to ask you. So, all right. Obviously, the whole city back then in 1978, when this guy was discovered to be doing this, whole city went nuts. It was on the news. They beat it to death every day, every hour, every minute, right? For days and days and weeks, right? And then in 94, when he was executed, again, all on the news, people outside the prison, outside Statesville, holding up signs, die, you bastard, and all this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How? Because you were around these guys.
Oh, yeah.
When this happened, how did they react? Tell me.
It was like, can you believe that? Because the cops had him. The cops had him. And they discovered everything. And everybody said, do you believe that? Can you believe that? It was just beyond belief. Beyond.
These guys they weren't like, oh, if I'd have got that son of a bitch out. No. But they were outraged that the guy did it, right?
Oh, yeah. Can you believe that? Right here. Can you believe that? Under our noses.
That's just crazy. Oh, that's just crazy. Yeah, Scott H., they're saying it's John Pappas in the barrel. Is that right?
What did I bet on that?
John Pappas in the barrel?
I bet $1,000 on that.
Did they come out and say that? I didn't see that in the news.
Yeah.
I gotta take a look. If that's a fact, I gotta look. So go to news. 6 days ago, FBI's with the investigation into the body found in the barrel at Lake Mead. 6 days ago, 2 weeks ago. No, that's the latest thing in Channel 8 News. So the FBI is getting involved with this. I know that it was one of the three. They had at least three. Would have been under several feet of water. Tips can be passed anonymously. No, doesn't say anything. That they're leaning with the John Pappas. So yeah. I remember when Gacy was executed. Mancow Muller was parked on Route 53, covering on TV.
Right.
Big Tuna. Walter Jacobson was the one who was name was drawn out of the hat to go in and sit in the room. And didn't you have a friend that sat
Yes, a very close friend of my dad's. Nice lady. Her son was. She had 3 children, and she was a waitress. Her name was Alice, and Alice married Harvey DeRocher, and Harvey DeRocher owned Good Humor Ice Cream. Well, years before, her son, she had 3 children. Her son was kind of being unruly, and she put down the gauntlet, so to speak, and said, "You either do in my house, you live in my house, you live by my rules, or get out." Well, the kid left, and she never knew what happened to him. And then all of a sudden, when the bodies were dug up, there he was. She actually called me the night before she was going to the execution. And she said, "I want to watch him die." She never got over it. Never got over it.
You know that crazy bastard said? Crazy bastard. You know what the monster said? His last words were something along the lines of, I got to kill 33 times. You only get to kill me once. I win.
And there was a big story about For years they made a big story about his last words were, "You can kiss my ass." That's not true.
No.
That's not true at all.
Okay, please do tell if you have firsthand knowledge.
Yeah, at the execution, they I don't know. It's like folklore. Somebody made up his last words were, "You can kiss my ass." Well, that isn't what it was. What he said was, "I killed 33 times. You only get to kill me once." You were accurate in what you said.
That's what they, but the "you can kiss my ass" part didn't happen.
No, never.
Wow.
And it's written in all kinds of books. Somebody gets something like that and they keep writing it and saying so-and-so said it, whatever.
I don't see the news, the link, Scott H. You have a link to the news story. If you do, Scott, so Gacy admitted it. Yeah, Gacy admitted that he was here in town and worked at the mortuary and all that. But then years later, that sociopath or psychopath
They never made it into the news about Vegas.
admitted it. Well, he later said that he didn't admit it. But the whole getting in the coffin and all that, like that, he admitted. So, yeah.
Randy, you're right. He was one sick puppy.
Yeah. Big Tuna, Adam, you said on Mob Vlog that Gacy was fascinated with death and all creep shit he did. I don't know, buddy. He was mentally screwed up in the head. Fun fact, Gacy made paintings that sold for good money. He didn't sell
he ran on the defense that he was mentally incompetent.
He was insane. They called him he was
Yeah,
insane.
but he wasn't mentally incompetent because he knew the difference between right and wrong. He
Well,
just
he was
chose
doing
wrong.
Right. Do you see the interview with his sister on Oprah?
Yes.
And the sister's sitting there and she's like crying, going, and when he died, nobody even called me to say I'm sorry for your loss.
Diane just told me the other day, did you know that Kenny Hansen, who killed the three boys, was on Oprah? They went out to Pontiac. Yeah, Diane told me about it. They went out to Pontiac State Penitentiary and they interviewed me. Said, "Oh, there is a God. I got an appeal."
Really?
Yeah, he was on the Oprah Winfrey Show.
Wow.
I was telling her the story how you remastered the tapes because she's got it on VHS somewhere.
Don Ciccio di Porzalo said he painted clowns. He made paintings of clowns. I think I remember that. And yeah, that's right. Nobody likes clowns. Creepy clowns. Yeah. What did RV Doc say? RV. There it is. I found an old 38 5-shot special snub nose in Channel Lakes the other day. Found on Bluff Lake.
Hey.
Wow.
Did you turn it into the police?
Yeah, right?
There's got to be ballistics on it.
Man, maybe, right?
Guaranteed. Guaranteed it was used in a crime and tossed.
Smooth operator, I was in court on one occasion and Gacy was smiling and joking with the court lawyers.
Yeah.
The guy was an egomaniac, man. Like he couldn't believe that I guess when they arrested him, he's like, I thought you were my friends. To the cops, you know? That's just crazy. Oh, Rick, I haven't gone down the rabbit hole with the Hinckley Bush. I started reading a little bit about it. I haven't gone down it. Aleister Crowley was Barbara Bush's real dad. I don't know. Pogo the Clown paintings. Yeah, see, he's the reason they changed the law and you can't make money from items made in the joint.
In Illinois.
Thank you, Scott. I just got your message.
Got a few $100,000 for doing his artwork.
That's insane. You know, where did he leave the money?
Gave it to his sister and other people.
Sister and other people, huh? All right.
Actually, he didn't give it to the victims. Now they have a thing in certain states where anything that they do, it goes to victims' families.
Okay. So, Greek American Johnny Pappas. His real name was Yiannis Panagiotakos. Panagio Tacos. Maybe that's how you say it. I don't know.
He's the one that owned the marina or managed the marina,
Right.
that was funded by the Teamsters, and he had a boat there that was for sale, and his boat was his car was found at Circus, and somebody drove him out there. He
Right.
was the only one in tennis shoes out of all of them. And I would think that if they're going on a boat, speculation on my part, that he would be wearing deck shoes or tennis shoes
Right.
so he wouldn't slip.
So, I don't know. But it suggests there's a second version that suggests the body of the man with the bullet in its head is Johnny Pappas or Pappas. Police officers with years
You'll
of
get a DNA on it. You watched.
they think that it might be Vandermark, though. We'll see. It didn't say that it's going to release it though right away, so I don't know when that. I'm excited to find out when. So
He was mobbed up. Scott H.
yeah. So under his house, yes, yeah, that's where he was burying the bodies. It's in real bad shape. Looks like a real old Al Capone had a summer home on Lake Bluff. It's real bad shape. It looks like real.
RV Doc's talking about up by the chain.
Yeah, where he found the gun, where he found the 38. Right. Wow.
I would turn
yeah.
that in. I would turn that into the police.
So, yeah, they'll find out. The FBI's in on it now. That's what I'm telling you. They're going to find out who it was. Yeah, they found the body under his driveway, right? So, and they did. They knocked the house down and they built a new house. And
There were two bodies that were in the garage and cement. He poured concrete on them.
right.
He said he was running out of room. That's why he started discarding people, young boys, in the Des Plaines River. He ran out of room in the house.
Yeah, right.
That's what they said.
I have well, maybe it's ran out of room, but you see they showed the diagram of where everything was buried in the house, and it was pretty
Disgusting.
pretty disgusting. Yeah, very disgusting, really. Oh, here it is. Here, I'm gonna cue this up. We're gonna watch this this little piece right here.
Okay.
Okay, here it is. This was. Where does the segment start? Right.
Before you go there, somebody asked a question here, and I talked to you about this before. Shoot. Pass me up. Yes, there were possible what they called accomplices in Gacy's murders, and they testified to avoid the death penalty.
Okay, so hold on. See, this wasn't covered in the documentary. You said this you said this
Somebody
earlier. There were a couple of his
somebody
workers,
Yeah.
right? Workers that work there.
Yes.
See, so
There's the name right here.
all right.
Brian's got it.
Michael Rossi, Phil Faskey, affiliate of Gacy, and David Cram.
Yes. They testified against him.
Don Ciccio Di Borzalo, if you're watching, that's not the Mike Rossi that I'm thinking of, right? Couldn't be. There's no way.
No, but there was a Michael Rossi.
There's no way that.
No, there was a Michael Rossi.
All right, so here let's watch this. Let's watch this. MG, did you see the boobs he had on him? The guards. No, it's not. Thank you very much, Don. I appreciate that. The guards let him do anything he wanted. What? All right, there. Let's check this. This is his house. This is where the house, the location, what it looks like now. Okay, so here we go. Ready?
Lucy home.
All right, and let's get that out of the way. Here we go, guys.
No sound.
Yeah, no sound. Okay, hold on. Why is there? Oh, because I had the volume down. Oh my God. Now that makes sense that there's no sound. You don't have the volume up, Adam. What's going on here, Flowers? So screen, share audio. Like I checked the share audio button. Okay, guys, here we go.
We're gonna go down this little street here. Summerdale? It's called Summerdale. Summerdale. Guess where we're going. Where are we going?
John Wayne Gacy's death house. The killer clown. Pogo, the killer clown.
Let's go.
Sick maniac, 33 young boys.
He killed 33.
That's it right there. That's it.
There it is, and it's for sale.
And there's bullet holes
Look at
in the
this.
glass. People are not loving this.
Look at this.
Let's get out.
That's the original house. They must have torn it down.
Yeah, it was leveled years ago, but this is the site where it originally stood.
Who would want to buy that property and build a house up there?
The bullet holes up in the
Yeah,
glass.
Bullet holes in the window.
I believe that was Harwood Heights.
Look at that.
Yeah, Harwood Heights, correct.
I drove out there.
By John Wayne Gacy's house. So John Wayne Gacy used to dress like Pogo the clown. They called the police. Well, they didn't call the police for those 33 young boys.
Jesus.
So he dressed as Pogo the clown, and then he put on handcuffs, trick cuffs, and then you make the boys put them on, and then they couldn't get out. Literally, under the crawl space of this 33, not 3, 33. Can you take a picture, a regular picture?
God. Unbelievable. Hey, that was a good dinner right there. That was a great
Finished
dinner.
off the evening.
Oh my
eating
gosh.
a wonderful dinner prepared by Pam, Joe's wife. Thanks again, Pam, for the fantastic meal. It was excellent.
Okay.
I so
It looks
miss.
good. It looks good.
Oh
Adam.
man, it was so good. Oh, it was so good. Man. The food was terrific. Anyway, that was John. So that's what John Wayne Gacy's property looks like now. And that's the what would we call it? A unauthorized cemetery.
Yes.
Yeah. That's just
You
you think your guess is 33 or the tip of the iceberg. What do you think, Red?
I really believe that those were the ones that were discovered. How many he molested, I have no idea. Nobody does. Those were the ones he killed.
Well, in that documentary on Netflix that came out, one of the survivors is interviewed, and the guy talks about how what he did to him and how oh man, the guy was twisted in the head. I mean,
There was one guy that wrote a book called 31 Below, and you can't get the book anymore. But he was one of the people that survived. And it was a very sad thing because he was abducted, taken to the house, abused, and then he brought him back and they dropped him in Lincoln Park Zoo in Chicago, which was a few blocks away from me. The 18th District Police picked him up.
29 Below. It's Jeffrey Rignall.
Right.
Yeah. How did Jeffrey Rignall escape? How did he die?
But anyway, what happened was he was naked. He was bleeding rectally, and the police picked him up and they said, "Oh, just another fruit." And they wouldn't believe his story. And so he went to a private attorney and they found him. They found Gacy.
Right.
By devious means, they found him, and he started to deal with the attorney. At first, he didn't admit it, but afterwards, he said, "What's his hospital bills, whatever?" And they started dealing with him. Then all of a sudden, this whole thing exploded because of the kid in Des Plaines that had the what do they call it? Photo ticket in his pocket of his jacket, and they found that photo ticket in the house. And they said, "No, we got him." It was a very complicated case, and there was a lot of overlying jurisdiction because they said it was unincorporated Cook County. So they had sheriff's police out there. They had Chicago police out there. They had to chase all the people away. Very complicated deal. Very complicated. I lived through it. I remember it was on TV every night, every day. Every night it was on TV locally in Chicago.
Wow. Yeah, I'm reading it right now, this whole thing, but what caused his death?
Whose death?
Eventually testified for the defense at John's trial because
Yes.
the beastly and animalistic attack. He concluded John was not legally sane at the time of the attack.
Right.
Furthermore, Jeffrey stated another man was present when he was raped. He reportedly mentioned obtaining psychological treatment following the attack, as well as having his liver treated due to the chloroform effects.
Right. His face was all burned and scarred up from
Oh,
chloroform.
his face is terrible. Yeah. Following the incident, he published a book called 29 Below, which he co-authored with Ron. The book detailed the attack and how the two of them tracked down the perpetrator. Jeffrey died in 2000 at the age of 49 from AIDS-related complications. There you go. Wow. That's just the whole thing is horrific. The whole story's horrific that this kind of person even exists. You know what I mean? Or existed.
People like this. You talk about Mad Sam, you know, and the people he killed. It was nothing compared to what this guy did.
No, right?
Nothing.
No, not even close. Yeah, so Don Ciccio di Porzallo, correct. According to his Wikipedia page, his father, so he got caught fondling a girl with another guy, and his father beat him for it.
Yes.
Later, and this was as a teenager, later he had a family friend and a contractor who put him in the car and molested him in his truck. But Gacy never told his father because he thought his father would blame him for it.
Right.
So, yeah.
The old guilt factor. The old guilt factor.
But he was molested, is what I read. So, Anthony Antonucci survived as well. I didn't read. Was that what the guy who was interviewed in the documentary? Was that the guy?
I don't recall.
I don't recall. Man, Rob Peast. Yeah, exactly.
Frank Schweiss was nothing compared to John Gacy, Outfit Boss says.
That's what I'm saying. We talk about.
I agree.
We talk about these mobsters that did this, you know, he put the barrel in the thing, threw her into a vat of whatever, and this and that, right? Helen Brock into the vat of steel, right?
Yeah, steel.
Okay. Yeah, we hear about this stuff, right? But man, I don't know if any of them did anything heinous as this. I mean, even
Vic Spilaccia was involved. Vic Spilaccia was involved in Helen Brock. He actually brought them to the inland steel vats where they disposed of her.
PDM Contractors, right? That was his company. Yeah. Painting, decorating, and maintenance, right? Wasn't that what it stood for? Or he said pretty damn. No, anybody see the movie Gacy that came out in 2001? Have any of you saw that movie? Is it any good? Should I take my time and watch it? Because I'm thinking about watching it.
I didn't think so. I didn't like it.
You watched it?
Yeah. It's not really factual.
No.
And there was another one that about a kid that wrote to the Gacy, and he tried to do a book on him for school.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't factual either. I like things that are real. I really do. Yes, this is Scott H. is talking about
it. Did you ever see the movie about the law student that wrote to Gacy in prison and wound up visiting him? The guy became a lawyer and killed himself. Good movie. What is that one about? Really?
Yeah. It's all fantasy. It's fiction.
It's fiction? Okay, so it's not even a real thing. Fox Lake Massacre. I'm just skimming through this. Al Capone, Terry Druggin, Bluff Lake, Moran was arrested, Bluff Lake. How many people were injured? 5 victims, 3 died. Okay. Interesting. I wonder if that's
Don
Ciccio di Porzallo.
Makes sense. Clyde Burrow, Bonnie Clyde, was thrown into a homosexual prison. I didn't know they had homosexual prisons.
He was raped repeatedly, and when he got out, he said he didn't care about life anymore.
News to me. I didn't know anything about homosexual prisons. I don't think they ever had homosexual prisons where they only put homosexuals in there.
The lawyer kid was sick. He was attracted to Gacy. In the movie that
Yeah.
Scott H is talking about, that the lawyer
Yeah.
was attracted to Gacy.
Yes.
Oh, you guys, that sounds like a twisted ass movie, man.
It is.
Yeah, Gacy was more evil than any made man. All the victims were innocent. Yeah, exactly, Julie. Right? I mean, that's a good point there. Frank said Mad Sam. Frank said Mad Sam was that crazy. Oh. Jason Moss.
The number count didn't go up that high, you know.
Oh, hold on. Brian Glade said Jason Moss was a law student who wrote the book. He was actually attracted to Gacy. That was real. He also killed himself on 6/6 of 06. Whoa, really? He killed himself on 6/6 of 06? Damn.
Sign of the devil, 666.
Yeah, right? I mean, I never thought of anything. I knew that on 7/7/7, there were a whole lot of weddings in Las Vegas. And of course, you know, we just had that Tuesday, right? 2/2/2022. It was on Tuesday. Anyway, that was back to it. Adam, Jason Moss wrote a book. He visited Gacy quite a bit. Okay, so it's a true story then. All right. Did Gacy ever go to Red's store? Yeah, he did, right?
Yeah.
And he also, you know where else he went? He went to Magic Inc. downtown. The magic shop was run by Jay Marshall and these guys. And a guy I know who has a shop in Franklin Park, he used to help Gacy. Gacy would come in and, you know, want to buy the trick handcuffs and all of the clowning.
Nobody ever thought he was who he was, even Rosalind Carter.
Crazy.
The picture's taken with him and Carter's wife, when he was a precinct captain.
That's just
Democratic precinct captain.
Smooth operator. Your birthday's on 6/6. Oh, evil. You met Gacy. How did you know it was him? Well, you didn't know at the time. You knew after you saw his picture on the news. Like when Jeffrey Dahmer
It's one
came
of those people, you see him, and then all of a sudden you see him on TV. You say, "I know that guy. I saw that guy."
I'll bet you a lot of people in Chicago were doing that.
Oh,
That
yeah.
guy's the guy who came and fixed my, you know, or hung my. Oh my gosh.
Most of those people, like myself, didn't want to talk. I mean, the police already had him. They didn't need me.
Yeah. Wow. Well,
Anyway, guys, it's getting pretty late here. And thank you all for stopping by. And thank you, Adam. I really appreciate it. And have a great week. And God bless you all. Thank you for coming by.
thanks, Red. It's
I
been
read
fun.
out.
Have a great day. Everybody, have a great day.